Good day to you all. Today we are going to present about financial statements and ratio analysis between Samsung and Huawei. These are my group mates, Jaymati, Ganesan, Ramakrishna Rao and myself, Sunesha. Now let us see the company background of Samsung and Huawei. Samsung is a South Korean company which was originally founded as a grocery trading store by Lee Byung-chul on 1st March 1938. In 1970, Samsung acquired 50% stake Korea Semiconductor. In 1980, it expanded rapidly and started to establish separate branches. It became one of the top 5 electronic makers in the world in 1990. And in 2000, Samsung launched their first mobile phones and several smartphones. Samsung is one of the major manufacturers of electronic components globally. Samsung's usual target age group of customers range from the 20s to 50s or even older, as long as a person has the ability to purchase and use the products. Samsung's headquarters is located at Seocho District, Seoul, South Korea. Whereas Huawei is a Chinese high-tech private multinational company which was founded by Ren Zhengfei in 1987. In 1997, Huawei had a contract with a Hong Kong company to provide fixed-line network products and launch its wireless GSM-based products. In 1999, it opened a research and development center in Bangalore, India. Huawei partnered with 3Com, a joint venture which was focused on enterprise networking equipment in 2003. And in 2005, it has signed a contract with Foreign Contract and the domestic sales succeeded for the first time. Huawei's main products are mobile and fixed broadband networks. The main customer of Huawei is who are using technologies like Wi-Fi and big data analytics. Huawei's headquarters is located at Shenzhen, China.
So let's see how liquid is our company, which is Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. Basically, a high current ratio which is above 1.5 is considered a company is very healthy. Thus, based on the figure compared to both companies, the Huawei Investment and Holdings Co.'s current ratio is well below its competitor, which is Samsung Electronics Co. in both years. A higher current ratio is always more favorable than the lower current ratio because it shows that the company can more easily make current debt payments. This indicated that Huawei company don't have the ability to generate more cash to meet the short-term obligation. Based on the second figure, quick ratio of Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. is also lower than the Samsung Electronics Co. for both years, which is 2018 and 2019, and also the ratio declined by 0.2 from the previous year. It shows that the competitor of Huawei company, which is Samsung, has more readily convertible into cash assets to cover current liabilities. So by here, we can conclude that Huawei company is less liquid than Samsung Electronics company. Based on the first figure depicts that Huawei Investment and Holdings Co.'s manager not performing well and given the low operating return on assets relative to the Samsung Electronics Co. Hence, the managers of Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. are generating 0.11 cents of operating profit for every 1 ringgit of assets, which is much lesser than Samsung Electronics Co. 0.19 cents in the year of 2018. Meanwhile, for the year 2019, the Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. managers are generating 0.09 cents of operating profit for every RM1 of assets, which is slightly higher than Samsung Electronics Co., which is 0.08 cents. The second figure shows that the Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. managers not better in managing the cost of goods sold and operating expenses compared to the Samsung company, as the operating profit margin is only 0.10% in the year of 2018. Meanwhile, Samsung Electronics Co. manages better in managing the cost of goods sold and operating expenses, as the operating profit margin is 0.24% in the year of 2018. In the year 2019, Samsung Electronics Co. manages also better in managing the cost of goods sold and operating expenses, as the operating profit margin is 0.12% compared to Huawei Investment and Holdings Co., which is 0.09% only. Therefore, we can conclude that the higher operating margin indicates that the company is earning enough money from business operations to pay for all the associated costs involved in maintaining that business. So, normally a high and stable return of common equity, which is ROCE, can be a sign of a very good company, as it shows that a firm is making consistently good use of its resources. A good ROCE varies between industries and sectors and has changed over time. Based on the above figure, it shows that Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. good in use of its resources compared to its competitor, which is Samsung Electronics Co. in both years, because Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. shows that a higher ROCE than Samsung Electronics Co. So here we can come to a conclusion that the higher the percentage, the greater the return shareholders are seeing on their investment.
There are few success factors of Huawei. The first success factor of Huawei are customer first attitude. Strong leaders provide a sense of purpose to their people, and Rank Zhengfei is no exception. Its first and foremost concern is the customer. Huawei differentiates itself from competition in this regard. In our conversation, Rank Zhengfei mentioned repeatedly how in the early years of Huawei, everyone in the company had to turn their eyes to the customer and their backs to the bosses. For example, of the customer first attitude comes from another early episode in their history that since become something of a company legend. The second success factors are employee dedication. Huawei emphasizes that the only way to obtain opportunity is through hard work. For example, in the early years of the company, every new employee was given a blanket and mattress. Many of them would work late into the night, then sleep in their office, perhaps taking a cat nap during lunch and again the next day. By this, knowing that a dedicated and committed workforce make companies more competitive is not too a difficult concept to understand. The way to promote dedication and make it accepted by its employees. The third success factors of Huawei are long-term thinking. The employee ownership arrangement not only help Huawei attract and retain dedicated employees but also allow the company to plan for the long term. Ren Zhengfei has also credited it with allowing them to stay close to their goals and long-term vision. For example, Huawei plans to develop of the company by decade, whereas most of their competitors of the company, such as Ericsson and Motorola, plan it by financial quarter or year. There are few internal risks of Huawei. First of all, technological factors. Huawei invests a lot of fund in innovation and research, and this is the one of the reasons that it is a leading brand surpassing other brands of smartphones. It is well known for its technically advanced camera phone all over the world. One more opportunity for Huawei is the proliferation of 5G in communication technology, which improves the speed and energy saving, and it also reduces the cost. Huawei is the leading brand for the service 5G, and thus the smartphone industry will get profit from the sales across the world. The next internal factors are production disruption of Huawei. Huawei has delayed its mass production schedule for the Mate series according to the two supply chain sources of familiar with Huawei smartphone manufacturing plan. This was because the Chinese company was still finalizing and resolving supply chain issues following the new US restriction. The next factors are environmental factors. The technology brand need to invest in sustainability to lessen carbon footprints so that they minimize the environmental impact. Huawei is a global brand, so the environmental conditions affect the transportation of raw material and finished product. Huawei has successfully raised its energy efficiency by 20% by diminishing the waste materials by utilizing sustainable raw materials.
Finally, projection and recommendation. 5-year financial highlight. Based on Huawei Investment and Holdings Co. 5-year financial performance, the revenue overall trend increases from year 2015 to year 2019. The Huawei chairman said that increase in revenue because of the company's smartphone developments. The company also launched its new AI processor SN910 as well as an AI training cluster. Future forecast of telecommunications industry in Malaysia. Since spring 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has been accelerating structural challenges and trends that have long faced the telecommunications industry. COVID-19 and the resulting lockdowns have made us change the way we live. As individuals turn en masse to the internet to carry out their daily activities and companies followed. What telecoms need to do now is catch up with the market. As a massive number of people relied on mobile technologies during lockdowns, work should be done in 4 key areas. First, maintaining stable internet connection. Second, disseminating vital information. Better connectivity for emergency services. And lastly, more accessible payment solution and data incentives. Recommendations. Initiating 5G mobile communication technology. 5G opens up a new door to a world of possibilities. With 5G networks, it is important to have a clear line of sight with the router, and even so much as a tree could disrupt the speed of the network. We will recommend Huawei use this to their advantage and strategically pick up tender from telecommunication companies and government contracts for the installation of the 5G routers across a town or in a buildings. The next recommendations are improving the quality or features of product. Nowadays, people are more quality concerned and their intention to buy quality product with a lower price. But the matter of fact is that market become very competitive and other companies are offering quality product at a low cost as well. Huawei should bring some unique product qualities by product diversification or modification in order to rule in the market. Huawei has a low profit rate, but it should be changed by implement good quality of products which may attract customers' buying behavior. In conclusion, improvement in performance features or other dimension of quality lead to increased sales and larger market shares of the Huawei investment and holdings corp.
Well, that's all from us. Thank you so much.